Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. Hope you're having a great morning today. Congratulations to our Boston fans or any sports fans in the Boston area for your win yesterday. Hope everyone had a really good weekend, and hope we're getting ready to start this this week here, week number 6, as we get into February and see what the market brings for us throughout the week. So let's get everything set up over here. Make sure everything is ready to go. Perfect. All right, guys, so today is Motivational Monday. So let's get into some topics of Monday state of mind and some things we can work out throughout the week as we continue to try to work on our craft here of day trading. So one of the things that we've been talking about the last several weeks. Last week we talked about consistency, and then the week before that, I believe we talked about decision making, how to building great habits, and all these things, all that can be applied to day trading. And day trading is such a field where it's very demanding in regards to discipline and staying focused. It's a career that's not just about skills. Is about building great habits as well, and not just all skills. It's not all about being able to enter an order, execute an order, or understand the charts, or understand, the moving averages. It's not all about that type of education. It's all about also training your mind to be able to become a better trader, stay disciplined. And one of the things that I want to talk about shortly here is patience. Right, patience is one of those things where you really need to put a lot of focus on. And patience is not all about just waiting, right? It's not all about just, hey, I'm patient because I'm waiting for my results to eventually pay out. No, patience is a little more than that. It's about knowing when not to act as well, right? You have to know when not to react to something, whether you get stuck in a situation where you get chopped up, or you get stopped out. Next thing you flip your position. That's a reaction, right? You're just reacting because you're frustrated. You're not being patient to wait for the next opportunity. You just flip your position. Next thing you know, this position comes right back down to your entry point, right? So patience has a lot to do with how you day trade. It's one of the 7 habits of trading, one of the fundamentals in Andrew's book. So make sure if you haven't read his first book, make sure you check that out as well. You can also jump right into the second book, right? The second book radiates a lot of the stuff from the first book. But if you have not, you can also read the first book and then the second one. All right. All right, first time here. Congrats, man. Well, welcome aboard. Yeah, I am already talking, so if you cannot hear me on the chat, you have to refresh your browser. So refresh browser. Can everyone hear me okay? Is it only Damien? All right, Damien, yeah, so let's hope he can refresh his browser. It's his first time here, so usually when it's your first time, you got to refresh, maybe install some plugins and things like that, and you should be all set to go. So again, that's our Motivational Monday, guys. You should have video. I'll reset it now. Oh, you're talking about the camera. Oh yeah, I can turn on the camera. Yeah, yep. Oh yeah, we could turn that on. Here we go. I still have not fixed the windows in the back. I got to do that. I got to take care of that that light you're receiving there. All right, excellent. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Let's look into our gappers list today and what we have here. We have quite a bit, actually, so that's good. Let's get all set up over here, get my my tools ready to go. I'm sure, like me and most of you, got probably not as much sleep watching the Super Bowl last night. But we'll be ready to rock and roll today. All right, excellent. So let's get to it, guys. So here's our gappers list today. We have quite a bit over here to go through, so that's nice. Where's my pen? All right, let's get my pen here to get going. Excellent. All right, so let's get with the first one here. EOLS. So EOLS up 20%. 585,000 shares traded so far. As you can see right over here, if you're joining us for the first time, here's where I look at the percentages. Here's the volume. You can also see this over on the montage as well. Once you click on this here, you can see the volume here and also the percentage of change right up here. And if you're joining us for the first time, here's our gappers list. We'll go through this first, and then we'll go over to our NASDAQ active and NASDAQ gainers and see what else we have on here. And then once I go through both of these lists here, then I will tune into both of the chat rooms and see what stocks you're watching on your end that I might have not caught as well from these two scanners. All right, so let's start with the first one, EOLS. It is up 21% today. Tons of volume. Pre-market actions looking okay, not great. What is the flow? This is a 11 million shares flow, so it is a lower flow stock. We're gonna drop it down over here. We'll see if it gets a better pre-market action. It has the volume, 589,000 shares, gapping up quite nicely. What does the daily chart look like? Daily chart actually looks very good. There's a very good daily chart here. As you can see, it doesn't look like an actual flow of only 11 million shares. So again, this looks very neat. All right, so that looks good. We can look at that. Next, we have ULTI. So ULTI up 20%, 146,000 shares traded so far. Not a clean pre-market action, maybe because of the volume, but it is up 19%. A stock that's trading at 275. That's quite a bit, but there's no volume. So we might drop that one off. APHA we've seen plenty of times in our gappers list. Actually been trading nice the last 3 days. As you can see right on here in this daily chart. Let's remove these levels and we can redo these again. You can see on here it's been having a really strong day the last several days. So it's popping up nicely over here. So let's see what it does today. Let's look at the pre-market action. Pre-market action, 254,000 shares today, but it doesn't look like it's going to have a clean pre-market action at the moment. You have most of the shares sitting on this one candle here, and the pre-market action is not looking great. So this can become better. Actually, if the volume starts coming in, this can get a better pre-market action, a nicer flow. Make sure to check out if you haven't class number 2. It is on our YouTube channel. It talks about good pre-market action, bad pre-market action, good daily chart, and bad daily chart. Next, we have PZZA. PZZA is 252,000 shares traded so far. It is up 4.8. This is Papa John's, right? Papa John's? Yeah, Papa John's. So up to 4.8, almost getting to 5. Has been really just not doing much the last several days. See this choppiness, just kind of just not doing much. Had a spike here, right back down to these levels. Then we had a huge drop on Friday, and now we're trying to bounce back up a little bit here, looks like. So Papa John's is in play. Pre-market action looks okay. Needs to get a little bit better. Let's hope the volume continues to come in. Next, we have ALXN. ALXN is 124,000 shares traded so far, up 4.5, but not a good pre-market action. Needs more volume. It's only 8:38 Wall Street time, so we could give it a little more time. Hopefully this gets better. Has a good daily chart though. Looks exactly what the SPY has been doing the last several days, and broke through this level here, so it's gapping up higher. Speaking of the SPY, let's just hop into it real quick. Make sure to check out Brian's video, the weekly recap he did yesterday on what the SPY in the market and some of his swing trades are doing. Also, if you want to sign up to his swing trade alerts, visit our website under swing trades. All the way in the bottom of the page, you can see a sign up sheet for his swing trade alerts that he's sending out. So again, the SPY we cracked this level here, right over here. It was around 267, right? We tested it once, twice, third time. I think that this was Wednesday or so. Then Friday we broke through it, or Friday was here. Thursday we broke through this finally, and we're kind of consolidating here above between what is this, 171 and now 168. So another consolidation here, but this could be big resistance here, and Brian talks about this in his video, so make sure you check that out. A lot of good information there on what to expect from the markets possibly this coming week. So we have several tops here. We have a 280. If we can get over this 275, which again that's not going to be easy to do, but we've been grinding up slowly grinding higher. Breaking this level was big. I actually thought we were going to at least go back down over here, but we've been just slowly making it higher. So this one has a great daily chart. Doesn't have the volume. Has a good is capping up nicely, 4.5. We need to get more volume. And ALXN. CRON, let's see what CRON's up to. CRON's been, again, as we know, on a tear. Again, looks like it wants to make him in newer highs. Pre-market high 2180. I think that is the all-time high. What a great swing trade this would have been, right? If we were in here, kind of see this leveling out, and then holding these moving averages. It was just a perfect pop. Just traded nicely. If you're a swing trader, this could have been a really good play. It's been really strong, and even here consolidates and takes off again. So CRON has definitely been in play. Has the volume, 375,000 shares traded so far, and again, this is all-time high, guys, right here. That 2180 from the pre-market is all-time high, so it continues to just break through these levels and create new levels. Actually, it's not breaking through any because there's none up there, but creating new levels each day. BMY, I like BMY. It trades nicely. I have traded it well in the past. Today we are gapping up 1.9 tons of volume, 313, but not building a good pre-market action. So the volume, again, the volume's not building a great pre-market action. But BMY has traded well the several times we had it in our gappers list. So let's keep it on here. Let's hope that a pre-market action becomes better. Daily chart, not as great. Not as great daily chart, but I like the fact that it's gapping up a bit here, kind of breaking through these levels. So that's quite nice. Let's see how it continues to develop here. Next we have so BMY fell off. Yeah, so BMY fell off the gappers list only because it's below it's going up and down below 2%. So this gappers list looks at anything over 2% or under 2% change, and BMY continues to go up and over it. So we'll keep it on there. AFL is down 2.1, so the only stock in the gappers list that's actually down today. So that can always be interesting. It's not doing what the market is doing, but no volume. Looks like it's just one big block trade here. Yeah, so no volume on AFL. So not really going to look at it. Doesn't look like it's doing anything at all. All right, anything else we have going on over here? I think that's it for our gappers list. Next, we're going to jump over our NASDAQ active and NASDAQ gains right over here. So let's go through this list and see what we have. All right, MDJH, no volume, nothing happening here. EOLS we have already, so tons of volume, 635,000 shares traded, up almost 20%, so that's good. So we can definitely watch that one. ULTI, we saw ULTI earlier, but it's not doing much. Again, there's a 195,000 shares. Is this a buyout? What's the news on ULTI? Anybody know what the news is on this? It looks like a buyout. What company is this? Oh, the Ultimate Software. Okay. Yeah, buyout. Okay, so that's not in play. Usually buyout companies trade just like that, what we just saw. So that's not in play. I'll get rid of it. MBRX has a horrible daily chart. This is not a great daily chart here, as you can see, and no volume, so we'll skip that. ZYNE, no volume. MHLD, MHLD can get something going if this type of action continues here. Has a decent daily chart. What's the float? So it's not that low of flow, 75 million shares. But I like the daily chart here, and we do have shares for short as well. No volume at all at the moment, but I want to check in on this a little later again. So let's put it down here. Hopefully this action here can attract some retail traders to jump in here. All right, so Halo. Next we have Halo. Halo, no action, no volume. MDGS, nothing going on, no volume. EYPT, nothing happening. And then last one here, Lexia, nothing going on. All right, so NASDAQ active, BLRX, there's nothing going on. He's under $1. I don't usually trade stocks under $1. Does have the volume, the 1.2 million shares traded. But again, I'm just not a fan of these stocks, so I'm gonna skip this one. IMGN is has nothing going on here. Fold, not much going on. No information on what's happening with Fold here. ODP is ugly price action. XOG is not doing anything neither. EOLS we have already. CELG, what is CELG doing? So CELG has 456,000 shares traded so far. Not the best daily chart. We traded CELG in the past, so I know we have as a community, but this doesn't look good to me today. Has the volume, but the pre-market action does not look great. I'm gonna skip that one. CRON is in play today. We have that in our watch list. AMD, All right, going back to AMD, has the volume, 361,000 shares traded. Not a great pre-market action, not like we've seen the last several days. But as we know, AMD's been trading really nice, also really strong. You know, it dropped down this day, gapped up, and it's been really strong ever since. So it's been trading nice. It didn't trade nice on Friday, though. Friday was very, very choppy. So that's it. Then we got ETF over here. We're going to skip that one. All right, so what do you guys have on your end? What are you guys watching? Let's take a look at those stocks. Yeah, so Soji, correct, guys. Soji has no volume at the moment. I mean, no, actually, it does have the volume, 559,000 shares traded, but doesn't have a good pre-market action. That's the best way to put it, right? So you do have that volume, and maybe it could be, you know, maybe some big block trades are creating that volume. But again, this pre-market action here is not good. All right, CRON is, yeah, CRON is good today. CRON is in play. I like CRON today. Again, it just continues to make newer highs. This is an all-time high right up here. It just continues to tear it up. You can see here the daily chart, beautiful daily chart. So again, it's definitely being played. BMY also is has the volume, but the pre-market action doesn't look too good. So let's see if it can get better. But it does trade well though. The few times I have traded BMY, it has traded well. It has a decent pre-market daily chart, not great. Let's get rid of these levels here. We can redo these. EV, sorry. Doesn't have the volume on this one at the moment. So no volume on that ticker. BABA today. Let's see how BABA is trading. No volume at the moment. Looks like it wants to lose it here though. It's pre-market action. Big drop here. Looks like it wants to head further, but again, without no volume, it's really untradeable at the moment. Not looking good for the open at least. All right, what else we have? We have ADIL. ADIL has no volume. What the daily chart looks like. I know we traded this before in the past. This is not a bad daily chart actually. Golfing pattern over here starts dropping. It's kind of trying to rebound. So you had a big day on Friday. You can see here. But today at the moment there's really no volume. It's opening up pretty flat. ACB. So ACB is has the volume, 675,000 shares traded so far. So that's nice. Okay, daily chart, not the best. Let's get rid of these levels. Here we go. Yeah, I think ACB. I like the daily charts breaking through these levels here, broke through this peak over here. So that's good. Volume is there. Not the best pre-market action. We know ACB looks good though. Let's put it on here. We can watch ACB today. See if we can use a good clean move. Hopefully gets a better pre-market action as well. All right, what else we have, guys? Yelp. See what Yelp is doing. Yelp has no volume. Again, it's gapping up 4%. It could hit our scanners. All right, it's kind of leaving this range over here, just popping up higher, maybe on some news or something. But again, Yelp is really no volume for the open at the moment. So we can tune back into Yelp a little later, see if it pops up into any of our scanners. CANF, no volume here, guys. So yeah, you have 99,000 shares traded so far, but it's not creating a good pre-market action at all. So you want to kind of stay away from that type of action. And what the daily chart looks like, yeah, it doesn't have a good daily chart neither. It's kind of very choppy, as you can see, right? Doesn't move much throughout the day. So unless there's some significant volume that's going to change that price action, you're probably not going to get much happening from that stock today. UNM is I don't have no info on UNM here, so I'm not sure what's going on with UNM. Looks like you have one big block trade also happening, so I don't have much info to go on here. But yeah, you obviously have some huge orders being dropped, right? 118,000 shares dropped here. So look at the timing sales, 2 big orders being dropped. So not a good pre-market action at the moment. Yeah, I will stay away from. Actually, this pre-market action is not even from today. This is from Friday. So there's no action for today. So this is all Friday. So I got no information on this one. So no pre-market activity, and again, just I wouldn't trade this one. All right, what else we have? BMY I do have here. I like BMY. It doesn't have a good pre-market action right now, but it does trade well. It has the volume, 340,000 shares traded. Although that volume is not really creating a good pre-market action at all, right? This is not a good pre-market action here. Although it has 340,000 shares. But let's see if it can pick it up closer to 930 or so. All right, next we have MDJM. NDJM, that's not a ticker. Please check that ticker, MDJM. What else we have? ZYNE. We looked at earlier. They like the volume on this one. So it's only 56,000 shares. Again, it is gapping up nicely. Daily chart looks all right. All right, it's pretty strong the last several days. It has ran. Look at the volume. Right? When it gets the volume, it does run. But this morning, it's not starting out like it wants to go anywhere. So I'm not gonna watch that at the moment, but we could check into our scanners, right? Turbo breakup, and also high of day bull flag as well. We can look at that also. All right, COX, no volume here, guys. This one doesn't have a good daily chart neither, but it doesn't have the volume to possibly be in play today. And with no volume, you get this bad pre-market action, which you don't want to be involved in, right? All right, what we have next. All right, let's check a few more, then we'll start finding some levels. INFN. Same here, guys. No volume on this one. Actually, you have no pre-market action for today. You do. You have a little bit here happening, but again, it's just no volume, no action going on here. All right, guys. Let me let's get right to it. One more, MDJ. This is the correct ticker, MDJH. Yeah, no volume, only 50,000 shares. It is gapping up nicely, right? 35%, so that's nice. You can see that in your daily chart here. That looks like it's just gapped up pretty nice over here. This is a recent IPO. It is. It's also a recent IPO. It just opened up. What's this? January 8th or so. So again, recent IPO. Currently doesn't have no volume, so you don't have a lot of information in this stock. So you want to be very careful as well. Trading this towards the long side. All right, cool, guys. Let's get through this list. Let's find some levels. We'll keep looking at our gappers list. If you see something that develops some volume, definitely throw it out, then we'll take a look at it. All right, so let's get into it. So let's start with APHA. APHA, volume 309,000 shares traded so far. Let's find some levels. Now, it doesn't have the best pre-market action, but let's find some levels. Hopefully it gets better. It has been trading nice the last several days, at least the last 2 days. On pre-market high, 1050. Above that, see how that 1050 is becoming some kind of resistance at the moment. You have these days over here kind of, creating some havoc for it. So that's becoming some resistance. Then up here you have, if it can break that, you have another clear level at 1136. And the reason why I'm picking this level here is you have this day over here bouncing from it right here, and then you also have this day using it as support, and this one as resistance, and then dropping. So clean levels there. Next we have, hold on, towards the down, and then towards the downside you have the previous day close. Let's not forget this, the downside, right? Previous day close, and you have the low here around nine bucks, and then below that. I don't think it drops that low. Again, the stock has been really strong the last several days, so I don't think you're gonna get a drop that big. All right, so Papa John's Pizza. Yeah, it's not a great pre-market action right now. 304,000 shares traded, but this pre-market action does not look great at all. So not sure about Papa John's. We'll find some levels and we can tune into it a little later. So towards the bottom, you have the previous day close right over here. Also the previous day low from the last trading day over here. Look at the volume also on Friday. So this picked up some serious volume. So it's getting some attention. Today's actually gapping up, right? 4.4, but it can come back and test that 38. You can see that 38 was also tested back in August, right over here, bounces back from there. So that 38, it's a big level, right? It doesn't like to go below 38. Let's see if it has ever gone below 38. Let's go back. Is that an all-time low? No, it's not. So right over here, looks like it might have dipped its head below 38. Yeah, it did, sure did. 37.47. Hasn't been down here in a while. So 37.47 could be a possible if it loses 38. But again, 38 is going to be a very strong level. It doesn't like to go under that, so you can see in the chart. Then towards above the previous day close, you can mark the pre-market high at 39.01. That's towards the downside. Then towards the upside, you have this level over here sticking out, 41.25 could be a possible. Above that, you have 42, previous day close or something, previous day high from this day over here, okay? And then previous day highs right over here below 43. Then above that, if it decides to crack that 43, we have 44 right here clearly, and then above here, of course, you have 45, and you also have 46.22. All right, so plenty of levels. Let's see. It's kind of at a midpoint right now, right? It's in the middle of the action that it did yesterday. The last trading day, right? So you got this candle just hanging out right here. This really can go either way. It can go up to 43, or it can come back down to 38, or just do nothing and just stay flat, right? But right now, the pre-market action doesn't look all that great. It needs to get more volume. ALXN, not a good pre-market action right now. Still no volume. Still only 140,000 shares traded, all sitting on this one candle, which has not created any action. Let's remind ourselves what the daily chart looks like. It has a good daily chart, but again, it's just the volume is not there. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't like the volume on this today, so we'll get rid of it. I'll check. I will be looking out for that one in my turbo breakdown, turbo breakup. See if I get those. I will take a look at it. I'm gonna just write this down here so I can take a look at them later. They're being mentioned in our chat room. Next we have CRON. So CRON is definitely in place, been really strong. Again, you have the high of the pre-market, and the high, this 2180 has not been able to break. Didn't break it on Friday, and is testing it today once already. So that's the all-time high. Below this, you have pretty much the close to the previous day close. 21 is the low of the pre-market. Then below that, you have plenty of levels, previous day close, and you have all these levels sitting right over here, high and lows of these days. And then 2018 was previously, I think, the all-time high, which is we can take out today because it's no longer a significant level. These levels are a lot better, right? The high of this day, the low of this day, below that, which I don't think you can drop to. You can do the close of this day or even the high of this day here. This 1947 right over here. Okay, and obviously 1950 and things like that can play in effect. All right, so let's see what CRON does today. Again, look at this. Just the daily chart looks amazing, but it has been really strong. Just kind of ABCD pattern after ABCD pattern, bull flag here, consolidates for 2 days and just takes off and just breaking newer ground. So CRON is trading really nice. BMY, let's see if it got more volume. Again, BMY, horrible pre-market action. I like the way the stock trades. I like the fact that it's up 1.7 and kind of leaving this range. But I just don't like the pre-market action. I'm going to find some levels in the hopes that this hits our turbo breakdown scanners or up, right? Because we can short this or go long on this. High of pre-market, 52 bucks. Above that, you have 52.89. And then if it really runs, I don't think you'll get this high, but let's mark it just in case, 53.91. Then towards the bottom, you have the previous day low and the previous day high over here. But I also want to mark this level here, 50.40. And the reason why I want to mark this level is you have all these days banging their head on 50.40 or 75. I'm sorry. No, I was correct, 50.40. So they keep banging their head on that 50.40. You know, that can now become some support for this stock if it does decide to drop and then take off. And look at that 50.40 also being supported here and here, right? So that 50.40 can react as a good support for this stock if it drops to that level. And if it cracks that, then we can possibly get down to 50 over here, the previous day close. But again, BMY doesn't have a good pre-market action. I'm keeping it on here for now because I do like the way it trades, and I want to get back to it, hopefully if it gets a better pre-market action. And we have our levels set in case it does hit our turbo breakdown scanners up or down. ACB pre-market action looks okay. It's getting the volume. Again, you have a huge drop of volume over here, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. So hopefully it can get some action and continue on this trend. Daily chart looks good, has been strong. Not as much as CRON, but it has been picking up a bit. So we have a clean level up here at 813. Above that, we can mark down 927 of this day here, and we can also mark down 860 from this day over here. Now, towards the downside, high of pre-market right now, which is probably struggling with a bit, is 770. So let's mark that down. Then towards the downside, you have the previous day close, previous day high from this date. Below that, more previous day lows and previous day highs. So plenty of levels on ACB towards the downside. Again, it's Kind of moving sideways right now. Doesn't really have much volume that's creating a good pre-market action, although it has 798,000 shares traded, almost getting to 800. Again, the pre-market action is not looking too great. It's all sitting on these large orders, which is not creating a good process over here. So I might drop this if it does not get better by 9:30 or so. UNM, I think we didn't like this one. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. We didn't like that one. EOLS. This one is losing it. Only up 15% now. So let's mark some levels for this. If it this could possibly be a good falling angel, right? We have 2080 as the low of the pre-market. High of pre-market, we have 2079. We have a level right over here. On this peak over here, 2033. Right? Let's mark that. And look at that 2033. Right? We have a 2 days. This one and this one bouncing off of that. And then below that, we can possibly mark 1972 from these two spikes right over here, midpoint. All right, so if it gets down that, then below that, you really have these levels all the way down here. This, you know, I might want to close this gap towards the bottom, right? I don't have shares for short, so I will not be looking for a short play here. Let's see if we can hold this 2082 and give us an opportunity to take this towards the upside. All right, so that's it right now. Again, has good volume. Look at the volume picking up now. The more volume, the better the pre-market action. You know, this is not a great pre-market action from here to here, not great. But once the volume starts coming in, you can start seeing this getting a little better now. So hopefully it can continue this way, hold this level here, and head up to that 2470, 76. All right, so MHLD, nothing ever happened with this, so I'll take it off. Someone mentioned INFN. Let's look at it. No volume on INFN. So you want to look at this for an opening play or the strategy that we're trading. You want to make sure you have some type of volume here. Here's the open for today. Not the open. Here's the close, I think, for yesterday, right? For the last trading day, yeah, 2-1. And then today, nothing's been happening. So you don't want to be involved in that. FBIO is up 5.7, 14,000 shares. So no volume at the moment. We traded this in the past. When it gets the volume, it does run. Look at the volume here, you know, so you do get some action. But today, you definitely do not have any volume on this one. All right, so we'll get rid of this one also here. All right, guys, anything else on your end that we might have not picked up on? Thank you, Mickey. That's a good one. Thanks. Yeah, if you definitely on YouTube, if you like what we're doing, definitely give us a like, a comment. There are moderators in this chat room, so if you have any questions about our programs and what we offer, definitely ask. We have Norm, Peter, Robert, and some other guys on here that can answer questions as we are doing this live pre-market show. Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. We'll look at VALE. Ooh, I wonder what VALE is doing. Fold. What else we have? We'll look at AU as well. What else we have going on? We have a little bit of time to go through some more. Let's look at PCG just for the heck of it. You know what? We'll do AMD and MU. So let's get through these real quick. Tesla was trading with basically the market the last several days. Hasn't been doing much on its own, and today we doesn't have the volume, so nothing going on with Tesla. Oh, this could be interesting here. VALE, VALE. It's getting some action now. Look at this starting to drop now. So it's starting to build something here. Volume 285,000 shares traded. We have traded in the past. You know what? This could be good. Let's get rid of all these levels. We got a mess over here. All right, let's find some levels. This could be interesting. Volume is starting to pick up nicely here. So low of the pre-market is at 1198. Sorry, 1198. Then we also have this level over here, 1111. We have 1146, and I'm going to mark down 1181. All right, so some clean levels here. Then towards the upside, you have very congested with levels. You have all the previous day lows and highs just sitting all in this area here with the previous day close. So plenty of levels here. We're not going to add any more to that. The most important level towards the upside, if it cracks through all these levels here, right, the next one that could be is at 1289. So don't get your chart all congested here with all these levels. Just add a few towards the bottom, and then that 1285 towards the top, because it'll be the close of this gap over here. But plenty of levels there. So starting to pick up a little bit. It's got some volume going for it. So yeah, let's see. Now it's starting to pick up the volume. Let's see if it can turn to something. fold, nothing happening. No, has the volume, but no pre-market action. Yeah, 995 looks great. Not 1,000, that looks good, but no pre-market action. So we'll get rid of this one. Hold on a second. Get rid of this one. Get rid of Tesla. AU, not a good pre-market action. Volume starting to pick up. 169,000 shares. Yeah, and it's down. It's actually down quite a bit. I like the fact that it's down 8.7. What's this? Under Armour? What is? Oh, it's something else. Okay, and the Under Armour probably trades a little higher. All right, so yeah, it's again, daily chart doesn't look great. Pre-market action doesn't look all that good, so I'm gonna pass on this one. Just push PCG here to see what the hell is going on with PCG. Are we climbing? I'm just kind of going sideways. I think I meant to put AMD there. So let's look at AMD. I think we did check out AMD, right? So it's kind of flat, nothing happening. We'll skip AMD. And then MU, also pretty flat. Not much going on MU. All right, so we out of that, we got two good ones. Actually, one good one. AU I don't really like, but this one starting to look a little nice, right? Nice, starting to pick up some action. So VALE, I'm gonna add VALE over here. Put VALE over here, actually, not VALE, VALE. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6, and we have this one here, which continues to drop. Let's see if we can hold this. If we cannot hold this, it's probably gonna drop lower. All right. Okay, so what else we have? GE. Yeah, let's take a look at GE. GE traded so nice last week, at least on that one day. But it looks like it's back to its normal action, right? Look on Friday, right? So it had one good day, then it's just back to its regular choppiness, you know, tons of volume, right? This is still a lot of volume, 174,000 million shares traded, right? You had the spike here, 348, but back to its normal self, right? You do get the volume, tons of volume. Look so far, 304, but just look at this pre-market action, right? This is typical GE. It's just very, very algo-like trading, you know. So I'm not gonna watch it today. All right, FB for gap fade when it gets the volume. Let's look at it. Yeah, this is FB had a huge gap here. I don't know, man. It could hold though, you know, because FB had been beat up a bit, so it could hold. But we gotta see how the market reacts to. It'll be interesting. But the last 3 days has been holding this level. It's testing it one more time. It is making higher lows here on the way up daily, so it could break this 165 level here, but we'll see. We'll definitely be looking out for it in our gappers breakdown list. All right, guys, so let me go through my list one more time. So we have APHA. APHA is 385,000 shares traded. Again, still not a great pre-market action. I like the daily chart, has been really strong, but I think I'm going to drop it. I personally do not have shares for short on this one, and also I just don't like the pre-market action right now. So I'm going to get rid of this one. PZZA is starting to look good, starting to get some volume, 364,000 shares, kind of holding here. So I like PZZA. Not the best pre-market action. I like to see more consistent volume here, but at the open, this can get the volume. And I do like the daily chart, right? The daily chart right here looks good. Had a big drop, kind of recover, right back down to the middle. So this has to make a decision what it wants to do here. But we got some really good clean levels. We have these levels down here that can come back and test and then bounce off. If it breaks that 38, it will definitely run towards the bottom. And then we have some levels up here we can test as well. So CRON again just continue to be really strong. So do not be short bias on CRON. Every time you think it's going to sell off, you know, it pops up and makes a new high of all time. So careful with CRON here. But I like CRON because you can really manage your risk. This thing's not going to drop on you, you know, 75 cents. So this is good. BMY, although I like the way this trades, I'm going to drop it because it's just not giving me a good pre-market action. How many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, I could watch one more. So I'm going to keep this one until about 9:25 or so. If I don't get a good read on it, if I don't get a good action on a good pre-market action, then I'll drop it. Let's take a look at SQ real quick. So SQ is coming up. Let's remove some of these levels here for less confusion. Yeah, SQ no volume, but again, SQ is one of those stocks that will get the volume. It's like I compare it to AMU, but the problem with SQ that it can open up so choppy. You really have to know how to trade this stock. I personally been burned on it way too many times. So just be careful because it can be very choppy if you're going to trade SQ today. All right, so that's BMY. I might drop BMY depending on what Andrew has on his watch list, and also Brian for something better. But it needs to get a better pre-market action at the moment. ACB has tons of volume, 925,000 shares, but the pre-market is not showing that great action though. See this pre-market action at the moment. I mean, it is kind of holding this level here, so hopefully it's looking to pop over above this 771. So I'll look for this for a possible breakout play, but maybe not right at the open. I'm going to wait for this to settle down and decide what it wants to do. If it goes above the 771, then I can possibly take it in for a long, for a break towards that $8 mark. So let's see how ACB plays out, but not really a huge fan of it. I like the volume, but the pre-market action is not, I'm not really loving it as much. And the VALE, this is one that's moving nicely now, but again, this one doesn't move much. So to get a good bang for your buck, you got to take a lot of shares, and really stick to your stop losses. You don't want to play around with a lot of shares and blow through your stops. But right now it looks like it's getting some action now. Shares are up 486,000 shares traded so far. It is losing it. We got some good levels here. It's kind of stuck in the middle between these two consolidation periods that we had. So let's see what it does. But again, also not in love with this one neither, as it is right now. All right, guys. So that is my list for today. EOLS. Let's see if we can hold. Again, still playing around with this 2080 level. See if we can hold that. Could become a good fallen angel and hop back up to the highs of today. This is a lower flow stock, I believe, right? So you got to be really careful on this one. Again, only 11 million shares flow, so be really careful on the number of shares you take. This thing can drop on you big time. So again, extreme cautious on this. Really manage the number of shares you take. The spread, how's the spread? Yeah, well, it's a sense now. I mean, yeah, it could have high spreads. You want to make sure you take a look at that too. Make sure you take a look at the spread when you are going to take this for a trade. Usually when the more volume comes in, it will get better. But be on the lookout for that. If it's anything more than 5 cents or even less, could be an issue. All right, MYND. MYND is 91,000 shares traded so far. Starting to pick up some volume. I'll keep it on here for now. I'll take a look at it as we get closer. Right now, this just started happening. Looks like, so we are starting to get some action here, but needs to get more volume. Only still under 100,000 shares at the moment. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us on YouTube. If you like what you're seeing, again, comment and like below. Leave messages on the bottom as well of the video if you're watching this after the fact, and our moderators or myself will definitely get back to you. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Let's start the week off right. Second day into February. Let's make sure we're sticking to our discipline and moving forward cautiously. Talk to you guys soon. Take care, and thank you for joining us.